Hi, it's Andy. I'm here with Lizabet Latvala. Lizabet is a Pilates instructor. She's going to walk us through everything it takes to become a Pilates instructor, the ins and outs, and how cool this career is. Make sure to like and subscribe and comment, and we are starting right now.
It's a wonderful position. What I enjoy most about my position is helping people, and that's basically what I do. And the way that I help them is through exercise. So I teach them to do exercises in a manner that are safe for their body, where they strengthen their bodies and lengthen their bodies and generally feel better. The primary objective is to keep our clients safe. So we want to keep our clients safe and moving in a manner that is safe for their bodies. And once we've achieved that, we lead them through a series of exercises that strengthen their body and lengthen their body, with a particular emphasis on strengthening the core. And the idea is that by strengthening their body in the ways I've just described, they're much able to go out and do whatever they want to do in their lives with a better form, better function, and feeling better. When people ask me what I do, I tell them that I lead fitness classes. And that is really kind of a shallow answer for what I do, but it gives people a general idea of what I do. So as I mentioned before, I lead people through a series of exercises that are designed to strengthen their body, lengthen their body, increase their core strength, and generally make them feel better. What the heck is Pilates? Pilates is a system of exercises that was designed by a gentleman named Joseph Pilates. After he died, the practice became known as Pilates, but he originally named the practice Contrology, as in the art of control. Joseph Pilates was a boxer. As a child, he was quite sickly, so he really wanted to venture into self-improvement methods to make himself stronger. So Joseph Pilates, he also designed equipment. And he designed a piece of equipment called a reformer. So that is a major piece of equipment that we use in our Pilates classes. He also designed a sequence of exercises that one can do without any equipment whatsoever. And that is called mat Pilates. So he designed all of these exercises, and he used his varied background of physical disciplines. So there's a little bit of yoga in Pilates. There's a little bit of gymnastics in Pilates. Pilates is very popular among dancers. It's a quite eclectic form of exercise. The greatest thing about my career is helping people. I enjoy meeting people where they are and elevating them to a better position of health so they feel better in their lives. So whether that's a grandmother who comes in who wants to bend down and be able to pick up her grandchild, I can help her do that by designing a series of exercises that is safe for her. If I have a professional surfer who wants to come in and do better in her surfing heats, I can help her do that, and I have done that. So some of the difficult things about my job are when I'm teaching a fitness class and one student is having a challenging time, it's difficult to navigate through that situation because I want to give all of my clients a really terrific workout, and I want to make sure that my student who's having a difficult time is also enjoying her workout and doing it in a safe manner. So sometimes it is a point of choosing between, do I want to correct this person's form, or maybe I've already corrected her form, and do I want to correct her form again and possibly make her feel as though she's not doing something well? Or if she is working in a safe manner, perhaps I'd like to just let that be as it is, knowing that whatever she's doing, she's not hurting herself and she's probably feeling really good, and then focus on the rest of the class. So it's in the moment determining what I want to do with my energy that is sometimes challenging. surprisingly, there are a lot of introverts who are Pilates instructors, and they do quite well at it. So initially I would think to say someone who loves being in front of people and loves working with people. And yes, that is true, but it doesn't exclude introverts. So people who are more on the quiet side, sometimes when they're in front of a class, they can really come alive and command the attention of the group while they're leading a class and lead a really terrific class. So it's not exclusive to extroverts who have their energy out there all the time and are really talkative. So I feel like this profession, curiously, is good for most people as long as you feel as though you want to help people and you are good at working with people and elevating them. So that's the most important thing. And when I go into a class, my goal is to elevate my clients. I want them to feel better physically when they're finished, and I also want them to feel better emotionally. So in that process, I make sure that I'm using positive methods to help my clients achieve better form. So for example, I would never say, don't do that. I would say something like, what if we tried this? And in that way, it's not demeaning to the client. So I always want them to feel better. So I think that's the most important thing about this profession, is wanting to help people feel better. So the idea of what a Pilates instructor does compared to what people think a Pilates instructor does is kind of interesting, because a lot of times in TV shows, it just happened the other night, I was watching a show with my family and there was a comment about how the husband had left for their Pilates instructor. And I feel like a lot of people think that Pilates instructors are beautiful and they're perfectly fit and they just glide into the room and they lead the class and then they glide out and go on with their perfect life. And actually, Pilates instructors work really hard. So we have quite a comprehensive education that we must go through to become certified as Pilates instructors. So there's a lot of brains that one must employ to be a successful Pilates instructor. Also, Pilates instructors come in all shapes and sizes. Some of the most inspiring Pilates instructors that I have learned from are not your typical Pilates instructor look, and there is room for everybody in Pilates. In fact, one thing I love about Pilates is there's a saying that Pilates is for every body. So I believe that is also true for the instructors. A lot of people think Pilates is just abs. So we talk a lot about core strength, and that's a definite component of Pilates, but it is merely a component. So Pilates that strives to work the entire body. So it's a full body workout, and we often say that we don't over or under exercise any particular muscle. It's a well-rounded workout. And the idea is that we're strengthening every body part in each class. So, to be a Pilates instructor, one must attain a Pilates education. There are a few different routes you can go to achieve this. One, a company I work for called Club Pilates, they have their own teacher training program. So, you can sign up with Club Pilates and do their teacher training program. Another route is through a junior college. I know of 2 junior colleges near me that offer a Pilates instruction program. And I actually attended one of those, and that's where I received my education to become a Pilates instructor. And there are a number of other private industries which offer a Pilates certification program. So if you Google Pilates certification, you'll come up with all sorts of options. It is good to finish high school before one becomes a Pilates instructor. The ability to study and learn about things that are challenging, like anatomy and stuff like that, those are important skills to have. So I would recommend completing high school. And then after that, there are a number of routes one can take to become a certified Pilates instructor. Being a Pilates instructor is a terrific career choice, and it is very financially rewarding. So a new Pilates instructor, I would say the range is between $25 and $100 an hour. Maybe the average is between $40 and $50 an hour. When one starts out, certainly it's on the lower end of the spectrum. And depending on who you're working for and what type of situation you have, maybe if you're teaching a class and your class is half full, maybe you'll be making $25, $30 an hour. If you're teaching a class and your class is full, maybe you'll be making between $45 and $55 an hour. If you are working with a private client, if you're working for a company and working with a private client, maybe you'd make about 50 bucks an hour. If you're working with a private client on your own time, independent of a company, you could make upwards of $80, $100.